And we're back with an update video on the Mac Haik CDJR US soldier getting screwed out of his Demon 170 story, and it has definitely started to incrementally explode into what is a PR disaster for that dealership. But not just for that dealership, but for Dodge as well. And I have my own take on this that I'll share with you in a second. But what I wanted to share with you is, first of all, just a slight recap. A few days ago, Butter the Great put a video up where he shared the entire story about a U.S. service member serving in Iraq, who I have since found the post in the Demon 170 group and read the whole thing and gone and looked at his entire profile to find out, just to make sure that we're not taking a bone and running without checking on this stuff. And he's in a uniform. He's holding a rifle. I mean, this dude looks legit as the day is long to me. So some of the statements that were shared with Butter the Great, if you go look at his videos and his shorts that he's sharing in his posts on his Instagram, it looks like someone at Mac Haik was questioning whether this guy was legitimate, which that in itself is just insanely stupid in my opinion. Like, if your best response you could come up with is to question this man's validity based on your shallow opinion of what took place, and you work for the dealership, then you just hosed the dealership more than the dealership was hosed prior to you saying anything. It's kind of crazy when someone has the opportunity to just simply say, whoa, we screwed up.
Yeah, listen. We fucked up.
We made a mistake. Here's what actually happened. Believe it or not, it could be an excuse or not, but this is what happened, and this is what we're going to do to resolve it. And because we screwed up, we're going to take a fat haircut on the price on the car, and we're going to make it right with this gentleman. We are going to personally go to Dodge to seek out a special allocation or something to make sure that he gets his same spec, because there's got to be one floating around the entire world right now that's not been sold yet. We're going to do everything we can to make it right one way or another. He's going to get a car. He's not going to have to spend the $50,000 over, and he's going to get to enjoy this thing when he gets back, because we support the military and we are human and we stepped in it. That would have been the right response. But instead, again, go look at Butter's Instagram. Some of the responses from, I don't know if it's a GM or whatever, were arguing with him, and all Butter wanted was just some clear response and answers, and they wouldn't give it. And instead kind of threw the military guy out there a little bit as maybe not being real. Maybe this guy's faking it or something. Man, if you're gonna make that kind of accusation, you better do your research and be 100% right, because so far none of us have posted the pictures of this gentleman in his uniform in the crap. I see one standing next to a camel in a uniform. I mean, sounds like this dude's serving. It sounds like he's serving in a crap hole. So I think that we kind of need to give the guy the benefit of the doubt and just roll with it if I was that dealership, and just own it. But instead, it sounds like they fought back a little bit. Now, going to the next level, this gentleman, I'm not going to say his name, but this U.S. soldier has been incredibly gracious on this forum in explaining what's been taking place. And he's also listening to the dealership, who's telling him, we're going to make it right, we're going to make it right, we're going to make it right. So to their credit, they did tell him, we're going to make it right, we're going to make it right. Whoever this other guy is that was saying stupid things, he should be fired tomorrow. But the dealership's telling him, his salesman or the manager at that dealer is saying, we're going to make it right, we're going to make it right. Now, they haven't explained, does that mean you're going to have to pay a huge markup still? Does that mean it's going to be a different spec completely? Some of the comments were alluding to that, and the statements were alluding to that. It might not even be the same spec that he wanted. But nonetheless, they're scrambling to solve it. And I want to give Butter the Great a huge pat on the back for bringing this to all of our attention. And then one YouTuber, two YouTuber, three YouTuber, four, boom, people start jumping on. The very next morning, I couldn't get on my video fast enough. Lucky Lopez, huge channel, jumped on and threw this out there. TK's Garage, I love that dude. I honest to God love that. I want to go have beers with that dude and just say bad words. That's what I want to do. I want to sit back and just say bad words for like 2 hours. It's just, I love that. It's just so much fun. I mean, I just watching his videos, I'm just laughing.
Mac Haik Dodge in Mississippi. You guys have to be the biggest retards that I've ever seen.
I never want to piss him off. I'll just put it that way. I have a lot of him deep inside of me, but I've been, you know, restrained being in my corporate world to not say the things that he says. So I think he's saying all the things we're thinking. So go check out TK's videos. They're freaking great. Anyway, so they got beat up, and many other YouTubers, I believe, are out there. I haven't been able to see all the videos, but are giving it to them. You all stepped in and shared tons and tons of the posts, and a lot of you called the dealership. I called the dealership. I called the dealership twice, talked to 2 separate people, and offered them the opportunity to just make a statement. Just give me their side of the story, because I wanted to be fair. Both times they just flat out hung up on me. Well, actually, the first time, guy goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea anything about this situation. I said, so a Demon 170 is there one day and you're in sales, and then the next day it's gone. You don't know that it's even there. Do you even know the car I'm talking about? Pretty soon he just hung up on me. The next guy, as soon as I mentioned the situation very politely, he hung up on me. So nobody wanted to have that conversation. So I would suggest that Mac Haik get somebody on the phone with butter and say what they need to say, which is, no matter what happens, we're going to get this dude a car. It's going to be at MSRP. Hell, it's going to be an invoice. We're going to give him, put a big bow on it, and we're going to deliver it to his house when he shows up, or it's going to be waiting for him outside the military base when he lands. I mean, they should go out of their way, just make it right, and make it right in grand fashion, because this is a horrible situation, yet it's also a humongous opportunity to bring light and take responsibility for a stupid decision that somebody made. Now, I've got to share with you what I believe happened. Now, this is simply speculation. In no way do I have any facts behind this, but in the last 3-4 years that I've been exposing dealers for these huge markups and fighting valiantly to save you all money, I've got probably close to 500 messages from followers of my channel who have saved money, made different decisions, backed out of cars that would have buried them in bad situations. So in all this time that I've been fighting, I learned a lot. And one video in particular that I posted, when I went in and I talked to the salesman, I said, why does this red eye have a window sticker on it with someone's name? Let's just say it's John Doe. John Doe, why does it say specially made for John Doe? Where is this guy? And it wasn't John Doe, it was a person's name. And the salesman said, unabashedly, with absolutely zero shame at all, he said, oh, nobody ever ordered that car. We ordered a lot of cars in people's names that weren't real buyers just to get allocations to our dealership faster.
You been up 30? No, I just popped in to see that thing. But looks like somebody had it ordered. Yes, we placed an order. Some of these are just real orders, but in order for us to prioritize, we put a customer name on them. Okay, yeah.
Remember, for the Demon 170, someone had to sign a notarized document that they paid MSRP to get their car built faster. And that notarized document was under the penalty of perjury. So when they signed that, they had to send that in to Dodge, and that would speed up the build. If they paid over MSRP, they still signed a disclosure, and they still ordered the car and put a deposit down. But remember, Demon 170s were order-only cars. I don't remember, correct me if I'm wrong, if there was any straight-up dealer could just order the car for dealer inventory. Now, maybe they could have, but that wasn't going to speed the car up. So what the dealers figured out, and we've discovered, and Butter does a great video on this as well, and I did videos on this months and months ago, is they put fake straw buyers on these Demon 170s to get them delivered, because there's no better way to get a huge markup than to have the car there and get somebody to make an impulse purchase. An impulse purchase oftentimes can be, in many cases, a bad purchase, a purchase that costs more money than it should have cost. So if they put all their Demon 170 allocations under fake buyers, and then this one they put as a real buyer, based on the explanation that this guy said to Butter, one of the explanations, which was basically that they didn't realize that car was allocated to this guy. They don't know who this guy even is. That they probably, again, speculation, ordered these cars under fake buyers and had no reason to believe that this buyer was a real buyer, because all the other buyers were fake, probably with their Hellcats as well. So this perfectly falls under, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, because the potentially shady behavior that they started to do as a practice ends up biting them when they actually have a car that's ordered by a real live buyer, that somebody who should be fired makes the decision, well, that's not even a real buyer, just sell it off to this next guy coming in. Because I don't believe anybody's so depraved that had they had it sold to a real legitimate buyer, that they would just hose that person, military or not. Maybe they would. But I believe they got caught in their own web of shadiness, ended up selling this car, and then boom, the videos come out and they start dancing. They start scrambling. The clown music comes on and they start boogieing on how are we going to solve this problem. Now, that in no way is a defense of them. It is how I believe someone could do something so incredibly stupid and hose a U.S. service member out of his car. The left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing. You got one salesman talking to the service member, you got some sales manager or general manager standing over there with a cigar in his mouth going, sell that green one over there, take 100 grand over, blah, 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 or 80 grand over, or whatever the hell it was, or 70 grand over, I think it might have been. Just sell it. It's not a real buyer, because they did it so much. That's what I think probably happened. And then they found out, oh, we stepped in it. Oh, did we step in it?
You done messed up, Aaron!
Now, let me tell you what the outcome is. The final outcome, Butter shared this with me last night in my DMs. We went back and forth, and I was, I missed the post, the final post, but Tim Kaniskis himself picked up the phone, called Butter, and then picked up the phone, probably before he even talked to Butter, and talked to this service member, and made a commitment to him that he will have a car. So whatever you all think about Tim Kaniskis, I have this weird affinity for the guy, that as pissed as I am at Dodge for everything they've done this year, and all the stupid things, I think the dude tries, but he's a corporate guy. He's got to do what he does. But he got on the phone and he made this right. Now some of you are going to say, yeah, well, he had to, or else nothing. That's the biggest car maker in the world. I mean, they're so huge that Tim could have just done nothing, and this would blow over and it would go away. He didn't have to pick up the phone. Most CEOs wouldn't have picked up the phone, probably wouldn't have called this guy, and wouldn't have went out of their way to make it right. But he did. So I want to give credit where credit's due. He picked up the phone, called the guy, and made a commitment. Now it's just a matter of following through with that commitment, which I have no doubt in my mind that no one's stupid enough not to follow through. Certainly Tim's not. I believe he will follow through. He will make this happen. Will he punish the dealership? No. The dealerships are their customers. Let's be honest. They're not going to punish them. There's probably some phone calls going on of people saying, or Tim saying to those people going, what the hell were you thinking?
What? What the fuck?
And use your brains, you know, and who knows, some bad words might have been said. But in the end, Tim made it right. He says he's going to make it right. He's going to make sure this guy gets a car. Now, here's what I want to know. Will he get it at MSRP? I hope so. That would make it right. Anytime you could save a guy $50,000, that's okay. If I can yank $50,000 out of that dealership's hands, I would love to see that happen. So this guy saves 50 grand, the dealer loses 50 grand. That was a $50,000 screw up. Maybe the guy that made the mistake ends up, I don't know, losing his job. That might be good, so that the next guy thinks twice, double checks, triple checks when this kind of situation comes up. But in the end, Tim stepped up. But, and I'll put that post up on the screen from the actual buyer, where you all can see that this is confirmed. What does bother me is that I haven't heard that Mac Haik has stepped up, other than saying, we're going to make it right, we're going to make it right, we're going to make it right. They need to get up and say, and this is where I'm just going to call it out, and say, we're going to make sure that whatever car he ends up with, one, he's very happy with, there's no regret, it's great, it's done, he's solid. He's not even here now to enjoy the other car, so the car will be here by the time he gets here. Two, it's being sold to him at or below MSRP, and at that point, I think we all move on. We all move on. Doesn't need to be a Bud Light moment. I think Mac Haik has already kind of made their bed. I don't think anybody's going to trust them for a very long time based on their prior behavior. And in the end, we'll get back to doing our normal content. So that's where I'm at with this whole thing. And you can argue with me, and I know a lot of you are going to go comment, Tim sucks, Tim this, Tim that. Listen, man, CEO steps up, calls the guy, says he's going to make it right. I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. This will get the guy handled. If it's under MSRP or at MSRP, get the guy handled. The objective of all this, if it was just to incinerate Dodge and incinerate the dealership, then we're just all looking for views. But if it's about actually affecting change and affecting a solution for this service member to get his car, then giddy up. We did good. We did good as a community, as a brotherhood. We did good. We got this problem solved. We need to use this power with restraint. We need to use it when it can help affect a change or solve a problem, not just burn the building to the ground and everybody loses. Should Mac Haik ever get another deal from us again? My opinion, no. No. I wouldn't buy from there if it was the last place in the world to buy a car. I would use my tennis shoes before I would buy a car from that place. That's where I'm at. Am I irritated with that this thing even happened at Dodge? Well, once the car got to the dealership, Dodge had nothing to do with it. But Dodge had an opportunity and a duty through the CEO, Tim, to jump in and solve the problem. And they did. But Mac Haik's still kind of drifting out there. It's time for them to get up and say something. Maybe go on Butter's channel, make a post, say something. So with that, everybody, you can agree, you can disagree, but that's where I'm at. Again, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Mac Haik, boy, you keep stepping in it. I think there needs to be a full cleaning of house at that dealership. Everybody walking around there thinking they're cool and Billy badass with their cockiness and arrogance about getting these huge markups out of people. They need to be just told to bounce. That dealer's made enough money. They should be leading the march in the no markups ever again journey. That's what I like to see them do. Maybe they can make a comeback. But until then, I got nothing to do with them. Hopefully you do too. We're over. This drama shouldn't have happened. Hope you all enjoyed today's video. Please like, subscribe, comment, and we will watch where this goes. And hopefully it ends with a spectacular happy ending. And if so, I'll make sure I put a video about it, or I'm sure it'll be on social media somewhere you'll be able to watch it. And we'll get back to our regularly scheduled program with a video. Hopefully I'll get up this weekend. I owe you all the video on the finances of the YouTube channel related to the car content. Haven't done it yet, and I've got some good stuff coming. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.